Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari 8-bit games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today we're taking a look at Heavy Metal, which was a 1988 release from Paul Lay, published in New Atari User magazine, or Page 6 Atari Users magazine as it was known at the time, issue number 33 as a type-in machine code listing. Now, Paul Lay is someone we've come across a couple of times on this series already. He was an active, enthusiastic developer of machine code Atari 8-bit games that were frequently published in Page 6 or New Atari User, whatever you want to call it. And he's actually still very active in the Atari scene today. If you come across anything by Playsoft or Playsoft, that's Paul Lay, still hard at work. Now, as it happens, I've actually got a copy of Page 6 magazine, issue 33, to hand here. So I thought we'd take a quick look at what the article on Heavy Metal had to say. So Heavy Metal is on page number 32. Let's have a look. So here we are. So if you've not seen a type-in listing before, this is the sort of thing you typically expect. There'd be a little article to go with the game, and then the actual program listing, which is over here, would follow afterwards. And machine code listings tended to be quite long. So Heavy Metal continued on the following pages and onwards onto the following page as well. So if you wanted to play Heavy Metal, you had to type all of that in. But Paul Lay stuff in particular was always well worth making the effort for, because his games were always really good. They made really good use of the Atari. They were fun games. They were well-designed games. He really knew what he was doing, and indeed still does. So let's just read what Heavy Metal is all about. Heavy Metal is a 3D arcade adventure for any Atari 400, 800 XL or XE with at least 48K RAM and a joystick. Your mission is to recover the 7 lost jewels which have been scattered throughout the deadly maze world of rooms that you inhabit. You control a spinning ball bearing with the joystick in port 1. Move the joystick in the appropriate direction you wish to move. You may climb walls that are low enough, and you may also fall off walls, although you'll die if you fall too far. Now, if all that sounds quite familiar, yes, this game is very much like games like Marble Madness and Spin Dizzy. Deliberately so, but it's also got its own unique twists as well. Now, interestingly, this article here actually notes that Paul Lay is well known to Page 6 readers through his previously published articles and programs, and as he has stated that Heavy Metal might be his last Atari 8-bit program, yeah, well, we know the truth of that now, don't we? We thought it an opportune moment to bring you a short biography. So let's just tell you a little bit about Paul Lay, since this is a good opportunity to find out a little bit more about one of the most respected contributors to the Atari public domain scene and magazine articles and machine code programming in general. So Paul Lay, BSc Engineering, ACGI, is a 22-year-old software engineer from Billericay, Essex. So he was 22 in 1988. I should probably add to there. He graduated 2 years ago, in 1988, from Imperial College London with an honours degree in computing science. Paul's first exposure to Atari was with the good old VCS, or the 2600, but his first experience in computing came for real at school when he opted to take an O-level computer studies course. It's dating this a bit, isn't it? Shortly after, he received a Sinclair ZX81 as a 16th birthday present and immediately started cramming all sorts of things into a whole 1K of RAM. A couple of years later, after learning to program on his uncle's Atari, Paul became the proud owner of a 48K Atari 800, which is still going strong today. With his own machine, Paul started writing some short machine code utility programs and submitted them to Personal Computer World magazine with a fair degree of success. His first submission won the Program of the Month award and later appeared in the PCW Best Of book. A little later, he was introduced to Page 6 magazine, in which he has now had quite a few programs published. Freeway Ace was the first back in issue 16, and Heavy Metal is the latest, but hopefully not the last. With a few magazine listings under his belt, Paul decided to have a go at writing a commercial game. The result was Sprong, which was initially released by Big Nose Software and then later re-released by Red Rat Software. It features some excellent graphics reminiscent of the best American games of the time. So that, yeah, his game Sprong, or Thing on a Spring as it's sometimes known, I believe, sort of drew quite favourable comparisons to work by companies like Synapse Software and that sort of thing. At university, Paul had studied Pascal, Modular 2, C, Microprolog, Hope and Simula together with PDP-11 assembler. In fact, his third-year project was a PDP-11 assembler and emulator written in C. Okay. With this background, Paul had just had to get an ST and found his university work a good grounding for learning 68,000 assembler. Yeah, so he did a bunch of stuff on the Atari ST as well. Shortly after Paul acquired the ST, Analog magazine announced a $5,000 programming competition, so he set to work on a conversion of an 8-bit game that he had already published in Analog called Floyd the Droid Goes Blastin'. The result was a game called Floyd the Droid on the Run, which won the first prize, and you can actually pick up a copy of that, or you could, through the Page 6 public domain library, which was a set of discs that you could order from Page 6 magazine with public domain software on them. So prior to the age of the internet, things like shareware, freeware, public domain, all that sort of thing were distributed by libraries like this. They would have all of this stuff in stock. They would duplicate the stuff on demand for you. You'd pay them a small fee for media costs and duplication costs and postage and that sort of thing. Maybe like £3 or £4 or something like that. And you'd end up with some free software. Yeah, unfortunately, Analog went bust before parting with the prize money, so he had the fame but not the fortune. One consolation was that Argus Press Software spotted the program and arranged with Analog to market it outside the US. The result was an improved version called Missing One Droid, which appeared on the Bug Bite label as a budget title on both 8-bit and ST formats. Currently, in 1988, Paul has written a new game for the ST called Crossland, which is being released by Microdeal. I'm actually familiar with that one, we'll have to look out for that one. Paul says it is easily the best arcade game he has written to date, and it should be available by the time you read this in 1988. The graphics for the program were done by Harvey Kong Tin from New Zealand, who has also been a contributor to Page 6. They got together as the result of Harvey writing to Paul about one of the programs he had published in Page 6, and the result was a collaboration between two people on the opposite sides of the world. That was a big deal in 1988 because they'd had to do it all by telephone or post. So, you know, not as easy as it is to do today. Making a living writing the odd program is not easy. It is today. So after graduating, Paul took a job with ITT where he worked on test software for digital telephone exchanges. He is currently employed by Psycho Systems as a software engineer, working on software for the music industry, where he comes into contact with some of today's top stars in 1988. When you consider one of the programs he has had published in Page 6, that is quite appropriate. They don't actually say what program they're referring to there, and I can't actually think offhand what that might be. But yeah, anyway, Paul Lay has remained very active in the Atari scene ever since he was publishing things in Page 6 magazine back in the day. And yeah, his stuff is always very, very good. Heavy Metal is actually one of his games that I haven't really played before. This is not one that I typed in back in the day, so I'm excited to give it a go for the first time. So, enough rambling and reading from magazines. Let's go play Heavy Metal.
Okay, here we are with Heavy Metal for Atari 8-bit by Paul Lay from issue 33 of Page 6 magazine. So, got a lovely title screen here, making extensive use of that ever-popular... Never know what this effect's called. I know it as colour flow, but that's primarily because I first came across it in a type-in listing in Page 6 magazine as it happened, and that demo was called colour flow. But I've also heard people refer to it as Venetian blinds and all sorts of other things. Noteworthy in this case is the fact that it's got two separate sequences of it going in opposite directions, which is pretty neat. But anyway, this is just a title screen, so let's actually play the game. We hit start and begin the game, and then off we go. So we control this ball bearing here using the joystick, and similar to stuff like Qbert, you push orthogonal directions on the joystick in order to move around the isometric perspective. So in order to move up and left, you push left on the joystick. In order to move up and right, you push up. In order to move down and right, you push right. And in order to move down and left, you push down. It's as if you'd rotated the joystick 45 degrees to the right, basically. So the way this game works, you have to make your way through each room to the teleporter pads, which are those diamonds that you can see there. Stand on the diamond and press the fire button. And your eventual aim is to locate the missing jewels, of which there is one just over there. And you've got to do all this against the clock. So you can fall off things, and that costs you a bit of time. You can also get destroyed by the enemies that you've seen on a couple of screens. That will cost you some time too. But for the most part, this is a race against the clock. And unlike a lot of other Marble Madness type games of this ilk, such as Spin Dizzy, which is probably what it resembles the most, you can actually come to a dead stop in this just by pressing the fire button. There's no real sort of momentum or anything in here to worry about. You just press fire and you stop, which is nice. It makes this a lot less awkward to handle than some of the others. So the emphasis on this is very much on the exploration rather than the sort of deliberately fiddly controls. Whoops. So you see there, if you die, you're not sort of directly penalised or anything, but you are sent back to the start of the room you're on. Damn it. You're sent back to the start of the room you're on, and you don't get any more time, so that's not good. The thing to do is... Oh no! That really didn't work, did it? I was going to say use your brake to stop just ahead of the enemy and time your passage accordingly. But unfortunately, it's not that evil, and I think we're going to run out of time. Yep, there we go, all over. Alright, not bad. Now, at this point, there is actually a continue feature in this game, which is nice. You can press Option to pick up where you left off. But that does mean you will drop the jewels you'd found previously, so you have to go back and get them again. Let's do that for now, because it will give us an opportunity to practice this room. And then, of course, we'll be able to return and get the gems that we've already found on another occasion. Now, I think that thing's movement is random, rather than actually homing in on you, so... Oh, Lord. So you see, you can ascend stairs of a certain height. Like these ones here. Which is nice. Let's try this one. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. In a lot of these cases, there's only one correct way to go. And sort of going the quote-unquote wrong way will send you back to the previous room. Alright, so over here... I guess we need to just sort of... to bait the thing over here, if that's a thing you can actually do. Or just... Oh no! Or just stick random. I think that's the intention. Since they, as I say, they don't really have any AI as such. They just sort of move randomly. Oh no! I fell! Smash! That's good. You... Oh no! We're gonna run out of time again. Ah, out of time. You notice there's no actual sort of depth queuing on the sprites in this, so you can't actually go behind stuff, which is a bit of a shame, but also not altogether unusual for games taking on this perspective. So, like you see there, as you go up the steps, you can actually still see the ball as it's going behind things. Oh no, this is going to be tricky. Unless... Whoops! Oh no, the boot's coming. The boot has some rudimentary artificial intelligence, it seems. So basically, we need to bait the boot into coming this direction. And then we go round this way. Avoiding the slime. And into the goal. Or the teleporter, anyway. Haven't seen any more jewels yet. This way, maybe? Oh no! Gonna say that black ball doesn't look terribly inviting. Now we're back here again. Oh no! Oh, the perspective there is deliberately awkward. Oh no! You've got to really hope you've got a nice feel for the isometric perspective and how that's representing things like steps and stuff. Because that's pretty tricky, actually. There we go. Made it. Oh, the jewel will be nice to see. Where does this one take us? Well, this is awkward. What on earth are you supposed to do here, I wonder? I don't know. This looks like a very mean dead end. Oh. I've just noticed the blocks say die. So yes, that is a very mean dead end. Alright, let's go from the beginning again. That's rude, Mr. Lay. Very rude. But I'll forgive you, since you've made so many lovely games. And this is actually a very good game. I mean, fans of Spin Dizzy and Marble Madness might prefer some sort of more analog style controls with a bit of sort of momentum and stuff going on, but to be honest, with the way the simple controls in this put the focus on the exploration, I like this. Because one of the things that always sort of persistently frustrated me with Spin Dizzy in particular was how tricky it was to sort of position yourself accurately under a lot of circumstances. And there were a lot of situations where you find yourself sort of having to wriggle over fairly perilous arrangements. Thank you very much. Right, go on, go past, please. Or go back, one or the other. Just get out of the middle bit. No! Come on, move. There we go. You just go that way. Alright, so this one was bait the boot. And then sneaky, sneaky. Oh no! Bloody slime. Curse you and your randomized movement. Oh no! Yeah, the other sort of quite nice thing about this that some people might not like is the fact that you always move by a full square at a time. So again, unlike in Spin Dizzy where you were sort of really carefully having to manage your speed and direction. In this, when you push a direction, you will change direction when you reach the next square, so not necessarily immediately. Right, this one we had to go this way, didn't we? And then this one, do not pick the root of death at the bottom. Let's hope this does not also... Oh dear. Okay. Perspective. Perspective. Have you heard of it? Yeah, part of the challenge with the perspective in this is obviously deliberate, but also part of it is down to the sort of limitations of the graphics mode that's being used. So it's quite low resolution and there's only a certain number of colours that can be used, and so... Oh, how do we get through here? Like this. Let's try this one. Fingers crossed. That doesn't look like death. It's a jewel. Oh, this is nasty. Wait, how the hell does one do that? Down here? Down here. Then up here. There. Oh, I'm gonna run out of time. Give me the jewel! And death! Ah, oh, death. Okay, let's carry on from there. Right, so we need to go this way. Except apparently we can't. Oh, there's some cheeky little perspective tricks going on there. Blocks you can't see and all sorts of other shenanigans. And we're back here again. Okay. So, up here. Stomped on by the boots again. Carefully across the middle, nimbly avoiding... Oh no! I was going to say nimbly avoiding our nemesis, but, you know... Failure. A little shadow under the boot would have really helped with this. Make it a lot clearer whether it's in sort of mid-stomp or not. I think just a brief pause would be enough to make sure that you don't get stomped on. Yeah, there we go. And through here. This is really good, actually. I like the use of colour. We've talked before on this series quite a few times about how varying up your colour palette is a great means of making players of Atari 8-bit games feel like that they're making progress. And so often it's sort of done from level to level. In this case, each room is a different colour. So it means that each room has a very strong sense of identity to it. Aha, a jewel. I can't help but feel there's some sort of devious trick going to happen in here. But it doesn't seem that way. That does seem like it actually is that straightforward. And those arrows don't actually do anything, they're just sort of indicating things to you. Right, where does this one take us? Back here. That's quite a way back. Yeah, we're all the way back here again. What was this way? I don't really remember. So let's find out. Oh. That is what's this way. Whoops! There we go. Now, question is, what do we do now? Because if we go in the bottom right corner, it just sends us to death. We've been here, we've done this. There's only one teleporter out of here, and that's that one in the middle. And that just takes us back to here again. Was there a choice of routes down the other one? Ah, there was. Right. Oh, but which one did we take last time? I think we took the one on the right, didn't we? So this time, we go left. Oh, you cheeky bastard. How come he can jump up that height, but I can't? What a little git. What a little git. Alright, where does this take us? Oh, many teleporters. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're all bad. Oh, how do we get up there then? Can we not get to that one? Oh, we can. It's just hiding some blocks from us. That's got to be the real one, hasn't it? A lot of rooms in this. I think there's 35 in total, which might not sound like a lot. But sort of in context, it certainly feels like a lot. Oh my god. Now, let's try this way. Oh no! Over the edge once again. Nope, back here again. Okay, so let's try the one at the back. Nope, back here again. Right, so how did this one work? We have to go up here Around here, down the back, then round the front. And then through here again. Oh no, it's the boot! Oh, bollocks. Alright, again, just a... I'm going to say, just a brief pause is enough to get you out of sync with the boot stomping. But you also have the slime to worry about, so maybe we get past the slime first. Or we could get stomped by the boot. And hit by the slime. Oh no! I did not press the button quickly enough. Oh. I think we might be looking at our doom here. Right, come on, this time. Oh, it's all over. There we go. Anyway, I think you probably get the idea. As tempting as it is to play that all the way through, 'cause I like that. That's good fun. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting not having typed that in back in the day now, because I think I would have enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, I mean, I showed you the magazine listing, didn't I? You saw how long it was, so it would have been an effort to type in, but a worthwhile one. A worthwhile one. So, yes, once again, thank you very much to Paul Lay for putting out some of the best type-in machine code listings on the Atari 8-bit, and for continuing to support the Atari 8-bit sector today. It's always a delight to see people from back in the day still working hard on various projects in the areas where they sort of cut their teeth in the industry. So yeah, so like I say, if you want to see other stuff that Paul Lay has done, check out the back issues of page 6, because there's a lot of his stuff in there. Check out the page 6 public domain library, because there's some of his stuff in there as well. And for more modern stuff, look up Playsoft, or Playsoft, I think is the name he releases stuff under these days. Anyway, we'll leave that there for now. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.